Go Mouse Scouts, episode 131. Bonus. You're listening to Go Mouse Scouts, where we're dedicated to helping you and your kids have a great time at the Disney parks, whether you're just starting out or a seasoned pro. My name is Chris, and in this bonus episode, a Disney Community Spotlight, we have the Disney DNA podcast with Trent and Jeni Caillouet. They have a fun podcast that they do once a week, and they also do Facebook Live videos as well throughout the week. But they mainly focus on talking about Walt Disney World. They have fun guests on, as well as they get their kids on the show as well. So we're going to find out more about them, and they're going to tell us about their podcast. So I hope you guys enjoy this talk. It's a lot of fun. All right, so I am here with Trent and Jeni Caillouet from the Disney DNA podcast, and one of the things that I wanted to do is really kind of shine a spotlight on others who are in the Disney community, people who are creating podcasts or YouTube videos, blogs and stuff like that, to try and help them to reach a broader audience as well. So Trent and Jeni, welcome to our show.
Hey, we're happy to be here.
Hey, we're happy to have you. So how's your day been?
It has been eventful. Just another day at the office.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yep. As eventful as days at the office can be.
That's exactly right.
And hopefully the events are good events, right?
For the most part, just staying busy in certain projects just kind of bring out the stress of life. But it's cool.
The daily grind, right?
That's right, exactly.
The daily grind. So, the first thing I wanted to ask you guys, and this is a question that you ask everybody on your show. I figured I would kind of take the mic and turn it around on you guys and ask you, how did you guys find your love for Disney, also known as your Disney DNA, or bit by the Disney bug? I'd like to hear that from both of you guys.
All right, Jeni.
Do you want me to go first?
You go first.
Okay. I feel like every time I answer this question, which I don't really think about it very often, but I feel like I change my answer every time.
Yeah.
So if you've heard me talk about this before and it's not the same thing I have said before, it's because I feel like it changes. But I would say, thinking about it today, I kind of got a little more hooked on Disney. Of course, we went there on our honeymoon. It was a lot of fun, but I think seeing the kids and Trent's excitement for the Disney movies and the Disney shows and the Disney products, and then going there as a family, it's just kind of grown little by little. Today, I cannot think of any specific thing, but when we went on our honeymoon, that was the first little seed that was planted, and it's just kind of grown from there.
Yeah, you know what? You really touched on something right there that I think a lot of people not necessarily overlook, but don't really put a finger on it, in that, sure, you visit Disneyland or Disney, Walt Disney World when you're younger, but there's a new magic to be found when you can experience it again through your kids.
Yes.
Exactly.
I think there's more appreciation when you're an adult, and one, you're paying for it. And,
yeah.
But two, seeing how excited your kids were for meeting Mickey Mouse and doing the different rides and things like that. I never got to go as a child, so that's not something I experienced. So going with them, still being younger, it's fun to experience it through them because, they're kids, and I can act like a kid with my kid and not have to worry about being judged or anything like that. We're at Disney World.
Well, it sounds to me like you can double down, since you didn't get to go as a kid. You kind of get to regress a little bit as well as enjoy it through the eyes of your kids.
Right. I love it.
Right.
All right, Trent.
For me, okay, so this goes back to when I was a young kid. I had some neighbors that were big Disney fans, and they were going before I did, and they had a lot of the movies, and they would always invite me over to watch them. And this goes back to like, Snow White, Cinderella, Robin Hood, all those classics that just absolutely love to this day, and actually own those at home as well on Blu-ray. And we watch them with our daughters. But going to their house and seeing the movies, and then one day my parents just said, "Hey, we're going to bring you to Walt Disney World." And I'm around 8, and I really fell in love by just getting there, seeing the train station, the welcome show, going through the doors, and walking down Main Street, and just experiencing all that they had to offer from the attractions and the shows. I fell in love with that place, and I have been since I was 8 years old. And I've gone back with my parents at the age of 10, and then after that we didn't go back. My parents have not been back since. And speaking of that, we're bringing them with us this year to kind of rekindle what was kind of lost there. And I'm really excited to experience the parks as they are today, because back then it was just Magic Kingdom and Epcot, and to show them the two other parks and to make those memories. And that's what it's all about. And I enjoy making memories with Jenny, Sophia, and Brooklyn, because they are such incredible people in my life. I mean, I love them to death, and to see their faces and the excitement that we all share, and we all share tears there, because it's tears of joy, and it's always fun, and we always love making memories there, and we look forward to going each and every year. And that's kind of our family thing, is going once a year. It's typically during Thanksgiving, because we love the Christmas holiday spirit.
Yeah. Sorry, there's something in my eye here.
Yeah.
That's really the cool thing about the parks, is that, Walt had said that it's never going to be finished, it's always going to be changing. And, the fact that your parents haven't been for so long, and they're going to get to be coming again, it's almost like it's completely a different park, you know what I mean? Or a different resort. And sure, there's going to be things that are still there. You've got the classics and whatnot, but there is going to be so much new for them to experience. And I mean, like you guys, you go once a year, there's always something new for you guys there, even then.
Exactly. And it's just something about Christmas time. I love seeing the decor, the trees, and then the Jungle Cruise turns into the Jingle Cruise, and it's just a little bit
nice,
maybe different story. Yeah,
and
just different jokes. It's just funnier. I love it.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. One of my favorite things during the Christmas time there is how they have the candlelight processional over at Epcot. The music. I mean, it's Christmas music. I love Christmas music, but it's Disney Christmas music. I mean, they took, and the arrangements that they created, it's just, I don't know. They took it up to 11. We'll just say that.
Exactly.
It's amazing.
And they bring such great special guests there to be in the show, and it's awesome, especially in PH. Man, we love Neil Patrick Harris. He's there, and
it really brings a different kind of spirit to the park.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it does. It does. When last time we were there, it was LeVar Burton reading the Christmas story, and we kept. Well, I don't know if anybody else was expecting him to say, but don't take my word for it. Or say something about a warp core or something like that. We've got Reading Rainbow and we've got Star Trek.
That's right.
Not necessarily in that order.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, all right. Good. Okay, so this question is a little shorter. So I'll ask Jenny first.
Okay.
Dole Whip or Mickey Bar or something else?
I'm going with neither.
Neither. Okay. All right.
Wow.
I like the frozen chocolate dipped banana.
Okay. Those
Nice.
are pretty good. Absolutely.
Yeah, I've had the Dole Whip once. I know they're dairy free. I I just couldn't get into it. And then the Mickey bars I know are really good, but I can't have the dairy, so
Okay.
I don't even consider them anymore. But I do like the frozen bananas. It's literally just a frozen banana on a stick, dipped in a little bit of chocolate, with peanut on it or plain or whatever. So, and that's something that I sometimes make here at the house.
Yes.
Awesome. A little bit of Disney between trips.
Yeah.
Right. Yep.
All right.
For me, I'm going to pick, I don't know. I mean, it's a toss-up, but I'm going to go with the Dole Whip. I know it's a little bit overrated, but I do like it. You know, it's just, I like that yogurt type feel to it, you know, and especially when it's nice and warm, it cools you down. I like it. I mean, it's classic and it's been around for a long time, and I like getting it in an Adventureland next to Jungle Cruise. There's like a little hut there you can get it, and if you can time it just right, you can actually meet Peter Pan there, because we've done it before. So a little small plug, but
hey.
You know, I like Dole Whips. Yeah, they're great.
Yeah. I personally, I think I would have to go with the Mickey bar. I really like you know, pineapple juice and stuff, but the whole whip part, I don't know, it kind of changes it for me. So if I were to get anything from it, I'd probably just get like a you know, pineapple juice or something.
Right.
So
nice.
But that's just me. Don't take my word for it.
Nice.
All right. So, next question. What is your favorite Disney dragon and why? So, should we start with Trent on this one?
All right.
I'll take this one. Okay. This one is really tough because there's such great examples. I mean, you have Maleficent, you have Elliot, you've got Figment, but for me, I'm going to go down to Jenny's favorite park, and we're going to talk about Epcot. And I'm going to say Figment. Figment, for a long time, has been a staple for that park. Even when I was a kid, you know, Figment, you know, imagination, all that stuff, that was a big time thing. And it's actually come and gone several times. And I don't understand why, because Figment is awesome. And I just have such memories of experiencing, you know, riding Figment and all that stuff. And I still catch it to this day because we rode it, you know, last year, and the girls like it. It's fun. It's an easy walk on, and it's a shame to say that, but there's no line. Exactly. It shouldn't be, you know, but you can just walk right on it and go. But I'm going to say Figment. So, Jenny?
All right. I'm not saying Figment. I'm going hands down Mushu.
Mushu. Okay.
I love Mushu. I feel like I love his comedy. His humor is great. But
Eddie Murphy, you know?
Exactly.
You know, if I had a dragon sidekick, who would I want it to be? And I'm like, Mushu and we would get along just fine.
You know, didn't it feels like we kind of had this conversation before, or maybe this was part of one of your past episodes or something, but I think I remember you talking about Mushu I can't remember what the topic was or something on one of your previous episodes.
I don't remember what the topic was, but I do remember talking about him. I thoroughly enjoy Mushu. I think you know, when they wrote or created this particular character, they did a great job. Like, I love that the kids love him, but I love that his jokes are humorous to adults on a different level. You guys are following me?
Oh,
I just think it's great.
Good times. Well, I have to say that I, too, am partial to Figment. You know, thinking about it, Figment kind of embodies all that Disney is. I mean, you know, one little spark, right?
Yep.
And if it weren't for, you know, a spark of inspiration like that, none of this would be there. You know, we wouldn't have the movies. We wouldn't have Disneyland. We wouldn't have Disney World, let alone any of the other parks in any of the other countries, you know? No cruise line for Disney. You know, you'd hear Disney and you'd be like, who? What?
That's right.
You know?
Yeah, exactly.
So,
you know? Yeah, Figment. I just love him.
And being a creative myself, you know, I'm always trying to find, you know, inspiration. and sometimes it has to be forced, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
So, yep. All right. Jenny, what is your favorite park tip?
I think the park tip I am actually starting to tell people more often is to have a plan, but expect something to go wrong. And then that way, at the end of the day, when you look back and you're like, oh, well, that didn't go as planned, you're not going to be disappointed because you're expecting something to not go as planned.
Right. Okay. So kind of manage your expectations, but still have an agenda, kind of.
Yes. Absolutely.
Cool. Trent?
Okay. Oh, my park tip. And we've covered park tips before on previous episodes. I'm trying to think of some that we talked about, but one of them sticks out really in my mind. And this is one that I take really seriously. And this is when you go through the gates, take your time, look at everything, don't fast walk, enjoy the scenery, look at the architectural feelings, and are just seeing those things that you see, because Walt designed these things, and we have some incredible Imagineers that have made new changes to the parks. And there's a lot of interesting things that you will see that you might just walk right past. And I have to say, enjoy the architectural looks and everything, and don't just go from attraction to attraction. Just enjoy the park for what it is, because there's a lot of hidden things, I call hidden gems there, that people might not have noticed because they're speed walking to, say, Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, or they're going to Space Mountain, but they miss some really cool hidden gems. And I say, take your time and enjoy the parks.
Yeah, absolutely. That's one thing that I've tried to consciously do myself when we have visited the parks lately. And in fact, last month I actually went by myself for the day and did just that. I mean, I think I went on a couple of rides, but really I just walked around Disneyland and California Adventure with my camera, taking pictures, really just trying to take in everything, the architecture, looking at the windows on Main Street. You know, they, like you said, you know, such amazing Imagineers, and they put such amazing detail into everything. And I mean, imagine all of the story that we're missing because we're speed walking to Space Mountain or whatever it is, you know,
Right.
And I'm sure there are stories behind pretty much everything there. And if you would ask a cast member, I'm sure they'd be able to tell you some of the stories too, you know?
Exactly. So, and I call it like this. Let's not have the Six Flags syndrome, as in, you know, going from attraction to attraction, you know?
Yes.
You know, let's, you know, just, you know, because I see people, man, after the gates open, they are literally running to the next thing. And not us. I mean, the Caillouets, we're just strolling down Main Street just as slow as can be, you know?
We have a plan.
That's right.
That's right.
So,
The entire resort is art, you know?
yes, exactly.
So, yep. And that's one of the ways you can go all the time and still have it be new and magical.
Exactly. And we're all there to make memories, and let's have some wonderful memories by seeing the little things that we just don't notice.
Absolutely. All right. So Trent, what is your favorite bit of Disney inspiration? You know, like a quote or a value?
Oh man, this is a good question. I don't know the quotes off the top of my head, but I can give you some sort of value. Is, you know, Walt always has all these wonderful quotes, and there's one thing that I kind of live my life by, and it's kind of that keep moving forward and to experience new things, and don't be afraid to fail, because when we started our podcast a year and a half ago, I didn't know what I was doing, and I was a little scared out of my mind, you know, because it was overwhelming. but I kept thinking of some of those quotes and just those things, and it kind of drove me to want to learn how to do things and to learn how to record and do all this stuff that it takes. And it helped me to develop a desire of wanting to podcast. And I love it. I mean, because there are some setbacks in my life that I'll go over another show with, from speech impairment and stuff, but that doesn't hold me back. It actually drives me even more, because people that might have that might shy away from the microphone, but I'm going to the microphone because I want to share those stories. I want to share those experiences and talk about Disney. And I have a passion for it so much that sometimes when I'm on my show, it drives me to tears, because I get so into the topics, and it fuels my fire, So
absolutely,
that's my value for it,
You have value, and you have a gift that you'd like to give to the world, and people need to hear it.
Yes, that's a good way to put it. I like that. That's a good summary.
Jeni?
Well, my answer is not as grand as that. When I thought about some of my favorite Disney quotes, and I actually went and visited my Pinterest page because I have a Disney section on it, and to look at some of the quotes I have pinned recently that I have read over many, many times, and have thought about in certain situations that have kind of helped me out. And one of them is from the March Hare in Alice in Wonderland. He said, "If you don't think, then you shouldn't talk." And I know that one seems kind of rude, but sometimes in certain situations, I have found myself thinking about that and actually keeping my mouth shut and probably staying out of trouble. But the other quote I thought of that I have read recently, and it kind of goes along with Trent's with his speech impediment and stuff. It says, "The problem is not the problem. The problem is your attitude about the problem," Captain Jack Sparrow. And I've read over that quote quite a bit because there's some everyday issues that pop up. And like one thing this morning that happened at work, and I said, I'm just going to take a break for a second. And I came across that quote, and it was like, it really is all about my attitude towards the problem, because the problem's not going to go away. It's just how I'm going to personally deal with it that's going to make the difference. And, we got the problem solved, and it was fine with no issues or anything, but I had to step back and take a different attitude and a different approach to the problem.
Yeah, that's very good advice. Some advice that I could take too.
Nice.
Yeah. Wow. Yep.
Well, I love that the quotes that I were pulling up. One of them that I love that I read all the time that was the Cheshire Cat, and then one was the March Hare, and then one was Captain Jack Sparrow. And I'm like, wow, I have all of these kind of unusual characters that I'm following what they say.
That's awesome. I love it. All right. So, one more thing I'd like to ask you guys before I have you, talk about your show and plug your podcast and stuff. And I'm going to ask both of you guys is, what is one thing in life that has the two of you really excited right now?
Trent can go first.
Let me go first? Okay. Oh, this is a tough question because there's a lot of things right now in life that really has excitement, and it could be personal or Disney.
You want me to go first?
Absolutely.
You can go first. Yeah.
Go first. Because when you sent this question to us, I immediately had an answer. It's a nervous excitement, but I'm going to be starting my upcoming notary classes soon. And I realized that our annual Disney World trip during Thanksgiving, and the notary exam is actually the week after that trip. So I'm very nervous, excited about both of those different things.
Yeah, wow. So
I'm going to bring my stuff with me to study, but I'm super excited about going on vacation, and I'm really excited about starting this new adventure in life with these notary classes and the test and everything. But I'm kind of nervous nervous because the trip is so close to the test.
Yeah. Wow. So like you get back, and then how many days before your exam? A week? Okay. Okay. How long is your trip?
And it's a 6-hour test.
Okay.
And only 10 to 20% of the people who take it for the first time actually pass it the first time. So going on vacation, a week before that, probably not the best idea, but the trip was planned before the class was planned.
Yeah.
We'll be gone from Friday. We'll be gone for like 7 or 8 days or something.
Okay.
Like that.
Yeah, total. So for me, the excitement right now, I'll just pick one because there's a bunch. But the one that really has me excited for today, tomorrow, and the rest of up until the trip is getting my parents to come with us after 30 years. I know that seems a lot to soak in, but 30 years I've been waiting, and I've played these scenarios in my head of riding those rides again with my parents and just the emotions that are going to come over,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Because my dad loves Big Thunder Mountain, and I cannot wait just to have the two of us ride it together in the same cart again 30 years later and experiencing the exact same things and even better than it was back then, because they have no idea about what they're in store for, because they hear our trip reports and know how much fun we have. But to have them experience it with us and make those memories, getting Photo Maker and have all those thousands of pictures just for you, Jenny, for your scrapbook, and just shooting video and just really having a wonderful time. But that has me excited most of all, because every day I'm getting so much closer to that trip, and I'm looking forward to it.
And one bonus is, I know for Trent it's 30 years later, but for my in-laws, Brooklyn and Sophia are the same ages Trent was when they took Trent.
Yes.
If that makes sense.
That makes total sense.
He was at 10.
Yeah.
And they'll be 9 and 11 at that point, but it's still in the same age range. So
close enough.
I know my mother-in-law said she's looking forward to that because she's going to get to see the excitement and kind of relive it like they did with Trent.
That's cool.
to take some of those photos, because I'm going to kind of reenact some of those photos that I have of me as a kid.
Can we get like the same type of outfit?
No, not the bell bottoms and the crazy hair, because this is like the early.
Come on, bell bottoms and crazy
80s.
hair. Yes.
I'm going to see if I can push this.
But
push that agenda, Jenny. Yes.
I might have some stripes somewhere.
That's what I had. They were like red stripes, but there's this one picture that sticks out in my mind. It has myself and my mom standing out front of the train station, and it's just a great photo, and I can't wait to kind of retake that same photo, 30 years later.
Are those going to go up on the website?
Oh yeah. And
yeah.
all social media outlets, all that stuff. Everywhere, because we're going to make a photo album group on Facebook, so we'll add photos to that album every single day.
And I'm learning iMovie program and some photo editing and things like that, so I'll have a couple of different things I put together and put out after the trip as well.
Exactly. Cannot wait. November can't come fast enough.
You'll probably want to scan some of those original photos so that you can have those on your phone ready to paste or post alongside with the new ones.
That's right. I will, because my mom has a scanner. I will have to do that for sure.
And I'm looking forward to hearing the trip report.
Yes, and I'm thinking about doing a pre and post trip report. Have them come on and ask them what their impressions are going to be without having been there in so many years, like what their expectations are, and then get them after they've come back from the trip. Was it what they thought it was going to be, or what? Get that honest opinion.
I
Yeah.
have a feeling dealing with us, that they're going to have pretty high expectations.
Because we talk it up.
Yeah, we talk about it all the time, and we go over like restaurant menus with them, and this was our experience, and it was such a great experience. Like, I hope we have. I'm planning for something to happen, but I do hope the overall trip turns out to be just fantastic.
And I'm sure it will.
Yeah, jinx.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be a blast, man. That's awesome. That's great. All right, so it's time for Plug City. So please tell us about the Disney DNA. I mean, we've heard all about you guys and kind of got in your mind with these past questions. So tell us what Disney DNA is all about.
Okay, I'll take this one, Jenny.
Okay.
The Disney DNA podcast. This is our third baby, pretty much. It is pretty much all in a nutshell, a Disney family podcast that is family oriented because it has the two of us and sometimes our daughters, Brooklyn and Sophia. And we have been doing this for a year and a half, and we talk about all things Disney, from like park news, park trips, you name it, movies, any kind of news reports, all that. But it's kid and family friendly. So you can bring your kids in, just plug in some headphones or
listen to it in the car.
put us on, car, all that stuff, and it's a blast each and every week to talk about our passion for Disney as a family, or just the two of us. And we have special guests on, and we like to share that magic with others. And they hop on our show and they spread their love and their magic as well. But we do that every single week. It's out every Tuesday, and we absolutely enjoy talking Disney. So what about you, Jenny?
I would say, one thing I like to emphasize when we talk about the podcast is it is so family friendly. It's something you can listen to in the car and not have to worry about the kids. We try not to spoil anything with some of
That's a good point.
Certain character things and things like that. We try to keep it very clean, and we try to keep it from the kids' perspective. What should they not hear? We try to keep all of that out to not spoil the magic.
Mm-hmm. Exactly, because we don't want to do that, because it's all about magic at Disney, because it's magic and making memories, and that's what we focus on is sharing that news with other people and those experiences, and we absolutely love it. We can talk Disney all day, every day, and I'm sure you can too, Chris, because it's always just once you have that passion for it, it's hard not to want to talk about it. But speaking of the pocket, yes, Jenny?
And I really feel like we cover a wide variety of topics. I mean, from my opinion, my humble opinion, is none of our shows are really the same. I mean, we've talked to different people about different books. We've talked to people about different trips they've had. We talk about movies. We talk about rides and attractions and shows and TV shows and toys and products. I mean, we try to talk about everything, not just focus on one particular aspect of Disney World, but, the Disney universe as a whole.
Yeah, definitely, because there's more to it than just the parks, and we all know that. But to actually find us or listen to our podcast, if you tune into like Apple Podcast or iTunes, Stitcher, iHeart Radio, and we're on YouTube, you can check us out on all those. And you can also go to our DisneyDNApodcast.com, which has all those links and those things to get you to the different areas to listen to the podcast. You can also email us if you want to just to say hey, or if you want us to talk about certain topics, we can do that as well. And we do have social media sites. You can find the podcast in Facebook. You can find it in Twitter. You can find it in Instagram, and you can find us also as there's Trent Caillouet and there's Jeni Caillouet. It's spelled Caillouet. It's a nice French name. It's hard to spell.
Well, it's Jeni. It's very short and sweet.
Yeah.
Because I've had a few people go, I looked up your last name, but I couldn't find you. And it's because it's just Jeni.
Right. And we also do Facebook Live shows spontaneously now. So we'll just pop up and do one. So if you like and follow the Facebook page, you will get a notification of when we go live or about to go live, because there's a countdown that will tell you when it's about to go. So it's pretty fun. So we have a lot of things out there, a lot of fun times. The podcast comes out every Tuesday, and just lots of fun.
Yeah, and just a small disclaimer, because it's kind of backwards in our family, most of the social media stuff is done by Trent. By the time I have a chance to look at Facebook, he has already responded to everybody and everything. So I read everybody's comments and stuff, but if you wonder, where's Jeni, it's because Trent gets to it first. At my work, we constantly have customers in and out, so there's not much social media time, whereas Trent gets an actual lunch break.
Yep.
And he does most of the posting, because even on my own social media page, I go, I don't think anybody's really interested in that.
So
even if you are, I still have doubts and don't post anything. So when you hear from us, unless it says my name specifically, it's probably Trent.
That is correct.
Trent is on it like nobody's business.
That's right.
And he's fast to respond, too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. I like posting stuff because I like to keep people informed, as well as, Jeni, because she's always getting it last minute, and I'll text her and say, hey, did you see this? But this topic, and she goes, no, I didn't see this.
No, I try to keep up. He's just so much better at it.
Well, awesome. Is there anything else you guys wanted to mention about your show? Or, I think you got everything. You got even your live shows that you do on Facebook as well. So
just lots of fun, and come and check us out.
And you're also, aren't you guys part of some Facebook groups too, or?
We are part admins for the Magic of Disney.
Okay, that's what it is.
And
part
the
admins for
Disney Parks people,
Disney Parks people.
Okay.
I thought Trent was going to jump in there with that one. That's why I have it. But Trent is also on a second podcast.
Yeah.
A reoccurring guest on
Monorail Tales. It's brand new.
Yes, brand new. They're not on iTunes yet. They're still waiting for that approval. They are on YouTube.
Yes, and it's about 6 of us, and we kind of rotate like every other show or so, but I've been on all of them except one, so I haven't been rotated out, but some of the other people have. Yeah, and it's just a lot of fun. It's 6 people, like I said. It's kind of the same kind of shows where you talk about certain things like favorite attractions, news, you name it, but it's real fun. It's a great group of people, and the 2 hosts are personal friends of mine, and they've been on our podcast several times, and even the live show. So we're really fun with that, and it's just, so check out Monorail Tales, but for right now, you can only listen to it on YouTube.
Right, and Monorail Tales has a fantastic website. One of the hosts' stepsons put it together. It looks great, so check that out. And they also have a Facebook Live page.
Yep, and you'll see the picture of me with a Disney DNA logo in the corner. So they have me plug our podcast on that podcast.
Yeah, it's a great podcast, and I know they're going to grow and do good things.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, awesome. So yeah, all right. Well, thank you guys so much for staying up late with me.
Thanks for having us.
Oh, dude, absolutely. I got to say, I had a blast chatting with you guys, and thank you so much for being on our show.
Awesome. We are glad to be here.
All right, and that does it for this episode. Thank you, everybody, so much for listening. I wanted to give a special thanks to both Trent and Jeni for joining us on our show, as well as having us as a guest on their show as well. So thank you guys so much. I truly had a blast. Megan and I both had a blast chatting with you guys. So thank you guys for that. And Mouse Scouts, go check out their podcast. You can find them in the iTunes store. iTunes Store, the iTunes Apple Podcast Directory, Stitcher Radio, everywhere you can find podcasts. And you can find out more about them at DisneyDNApodcast.com. So go there, check it out, and support. As for us, you can find us on the web at gomousescouts.com. You can email us at fun@gomousescouts.com. And we would love to have you guys join us on our Facebook group as well, which is growing every day, and we're, having fun interacting with you guys there. You can find that at gomousescouts.com/Facebook. And finally, if you guys are enjoying these episodes, please feel free to tell a friend about it, and maybe somebody who could benefit from our park tips, or might really enjoy hearing the cute things that Kit has to say on his episodes. So we really appreciate you guys. We wouldn't be doing this without you, and we thank everybody for your support. So we will see you guys in the next episode. Take care.
Disney 98. Papa, what is